Welcome to the Stiff Oddcast, March 24th,
2014. I'm Casey Orange.
I'm Alan, and
Welcome. This should be a nice, interesting podcast. A lot of things to talk about. A lot of things are going on. A lot of things to do. I figured we'll put something on the internet of us talking instead of seeing our ugly mugs all over the YouTube channel.
we have done attempts at this 3 or 4 times, but...
We got some great older ones, man.
Yeah, those are going to get up there eventually.
Yeah, they will. They are a little dated, but
Not too much. Not too much.
But there's some fucking date-specific stuff.
Yeah.
It was from last or 2 summers ago. It was me, Alan, and Paul Roberts. But some of the computer talk, the tech talk, that doesn't change is pretty nice.
Yeah, I remember the one that sounded better. We was talking about banking and money and currencies. That stuff's still pretty relevant right now, I would say.
Yeah, I would say so. It's money is always going to... I guess will always be around to talk about.
Yeah, of course. Maybe.
Whether we like it or not.
Shillings, wooden chips.
The weather was pretty mild today. Compared to last week's weather, where it was like almost perfect for like a day, and then it turned into snowy death weather.
Kentucky's weather is a nightmare. It really is. I guess it has been for the last 20 years. It's a gradual year after year of weird ass climate in Kentucky.
It has, but Kentucky's always been. What is the phrase? Stay around in Kentucky long enough, the weather will change.
That's not a joke.
It's absolutely true, because we're kind of in the middle there.
Yeah.
Have Illinois and the Great Lakes and that cold Arctic air. Then we have Florida and everything below us that consistently is warm, so we get the middle weight of all the brunt of the weather.
So life's happening. What's going on some media that we can comment on?
Shit. We're already going into that right now?
I guess we could.
Whatever. Shit.
We gotta hook them.
The best, media of the week coming out this Tuesday. And also, I guess, midnight. I'm sure a lot of fuckers are already out waiting in line for this. But Diablo's expansion, Reaper of Souls, comes out at midnight tonight. Should be a big deal. I think this is the first expansion for the game that I know of.
It's been out for a year, right?
Yeah. I think it has been a year. I'm not a PC gamer, so I can't exactly tell you how long the game's been. I know of it. I've seen it been played. I know that's about it.
Brandon Jenkins has it, yeah.
He has it on the 360. Apparently, the console version is pretty good too.
Yeah, it's solid. It's got a offline co-op too. So,
see, that's what made Diablo 2 so badass. Is playing it on. Even I played Diablo 2. I think everyone maybe at least played it for 20 or 30
at least
minutes.
watch somebody play it because that was popular.
It's it's fantastic, dude. I have nothing bad to say about Diablo. There's nothing at all. I don't have a high-end PC to properly play it, and it is strictly online only with the BattleNet and everything. You cannot play that game offline.
So, a lot of people anticipating this release. Titanfall came out not too long ago, so that's another...
last week?
Yeah.
Was it last week? Yeah, maybe it was. Yeah.
Brandon also had a beta of that. He said it was the best thing he's played in a long time, but...
Gosh, yeah, it doesn't really take much to make a variant in the first-person shooter department.
Yeah, it's kind of a one-dimensional formula. It works. So.
Super burnout on it. And once Call of Duty became a sports game, basically, by biannual releases, it's like, who gives a flying fuck, man?
I don't, but plenty of people do. I guess if I sat down with it, in the right mood, I can understand it, but I kind of am partial to the fighting games, and so I felt that's a more competitive, more strategic multiplayer type atmosphere.
Yeah,
arcade.
There's really no bullshit to that.
No, man.
It's just two people fighting. I'm sure there's some cheap characters, obviously, but there's no, questionable deaths or someone camping at a respawn area or nothing, anything like that.
I don't know. I just think it plays on the inherent or perhaps subconscious want to blow human beings away. So
it's always been
It's always been
Always
there,
been around.
but they really stroked it. They stroked it pretty hard.
Well, think about with the NES release. You know how many fucking war games came out for the
Oh,
NES too? But see, now it's just only thing it is updated graphics.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know, more realistic.
Pseudo-realism. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, we got Diablo 3 expansion coming out. Right here is a PS3 game. I think this is probably a Japanese or a JRPG, I guess, Japanese RPG.
Mm-hmm.
The Witch and the Hundred Knight. So it's not even plural. So Witch and the Hundred Knight. So it's just one knight that's 100? Is that?
Maybe he's a centurion, yeah. Running around with a sword.
That's a strategy RPG. I can get down with that. It's beating the shit out of stuff. Definitely a little bit of PS3 support. Nothing looking good. I guess on the entertainment front, Wolf of Wall Street comes out tomorrow on DVD and Blu-ray.
Yeah, and given the track record, of course, I've said millions of times in conversation, you know, Hollywood has gotten to where 20% of their that whatever they put out is really good.
Oh, like
but the 80%,
it's awful.
It's very polarizing in a way. But this, of course, is subjective to opinion. But
God dang it, there's a lot of shit that comes out.
There really is. But you know, for all the crap that we bitch and complain about and critique, somehow these franchises or series or niche films are making so much more money, or at least they're making their money back because they keep investing in those kind of
films. But yeah, this is Marty Scorsese, dude. So to me, he's one of my favorite directors of all time. Definitely not the greatest, but personally one of my favorites. In Wolf of Wall Street, I mean, the only thing I heard that was bad about it was it was too realistic, or it went too far in some spots. Which I completely enjoy that.
Yeah.
And it seems like Leo has become Marty's new guy, you know, kind of like his De Niro now.
Right.
You know, in the modern days.
Yep.
And Jonah Hill got a Best Supporting Actor nod for that, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that just, I don't know. I don't know if I've not watched television enough or these analysis of Hollywood and stuff like that. But Jonah Hill seems to be getting this huge push.
Yeah, I mean, they had to pick someone out of the well, I guess it is Apatow, right? That Apatow kind of group to get a nice, serious push as an actor. And I'm sure Seth Rogen just wanted to do his own thing and be funny and maybe be serious later. Michael Cera chose to be a badass action star. It seems like. I mean, Scott Pilgrim's, I mean, to me, that's Michael Cera in a fucking nutshell. You know? Right. And Seth Rogen just goes for the funny kind of roles. Been typecasted there for a few years, though.
Culture-wise, a lot of people got really tired of seeing Will Ferrell in movies, and then they got really tired of Seth Rogen after a while. But I think as time goes by and they look back on it, they'd be like, man, you know, they were good. You know, they worked their dialogue very well. Whatever they had, even if the rest of the legs of the film or project didn't seem to have enough firepower, you know, the presence and the nuances of Will Ferrell or Seth Rogen just saved it. I mean, you look at Old School, right?
That movie, I don't really like that movie.
I don't either, but Will Ferrell's scenes totally stole the show. I mean, you know, My Boy Blue, you know, that's some funny shit.
Yeah, what they basically did is trim the fats and try to make, I don't know, the modern everyday guy relatable. And Seth Rogen did that. Michael Cera obviously does. He has a humanity about him. Well, he just seems like he would be a cool person in real life. You know, I don't know. So, Jason Segel's also one of those guys that has a humanity about him when you see him on the screen when he talks.
Seems legit.
Done an awesome reboot of the Muppets a couple years back. Awesome. And Forgetting Sarah Marshall is awesome. But Jonah Hill's getting that push because this is his second nod for Best Supporting Actor, because the first movie was Moneyball, which he fucking starred with Brad Pitt in. You know, it's like,
damn. Yeah.
And how Jonah Hill got this role in Wolf of Wall Street is this He just said he loved the Goodfellas. That was like one of his favorite movies.
And that movie is a masterpiece.
It's awesome.
It's really good.
It's up there. I
really
mean,
good. I know it's like, I guess, cliche to say. It's like people saying Wizard of Oz is great, and yeah, that might be cliche, but it really is good.
There's a lot of people that still have not seen the Goodfellas, though.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
It's strange, but it's just people will eventually get around to it, because I'm pretty sure once Marty dies, that's where everything's gonna get pushed.
It's like the zombie thing, and the mob thing was hot throughout the 90s.
Late 90s, yeah, oh my God.
It was all, between The Sopranos and whatnot and all this stuff. So
even The Simpsons dedicated like a whole season to it.
Yeah. So people got burnt out on it, and they just be like, oh, is that a mob movie? Yeah, I'll get to it one of these days. It's the same way I feel about zombies. Eventually, I'll go back and check out some of The Walking Dead and all that stuff.
It's not at this moment,
No, not right now. It just, I don't know.
I heard it's a great show. I know it's a great show. I'm just not going to watch it for probably 2 or 3 years.
Right.
Until I hit the reset button on my love for zombies or anything related to that.
Okay, so we have The Wolf of Wall Street coming out on home video and whatnot. So what else is...
this is pretty... Not really much happening this week as far as like releases. I think that's the last media release that I've noticed. It's cool though. Like last week had American Hustle, which is that I think his name's Bill O. Russell. I think is his name. He directed the Silver Lining Playbook. But to me, that American Hustle seems like, from what I've read and what I understand, is him trying to make a Martin Scorsese movie. So, I mean, you can take that how you will. I haven't seen American Hustle. I do want to see it though. I'll
give it a shot. But I keep my expectations extraordinarily low. But of course, this is with everything now. But I just the method of or marketing science involved with box office flicks and mainstream movies is just mind-numbing. And again, Alan Moore was correct in a few years ago in a quote when he was like, they're just going to make Captain Crunch the movie before too long. It's just, if someone knows about it, they'll put it out, whatever it is. It could be I'm surprised they haven't rebooted the Garbage Pail Kids.
Could they?
Yeah, they probably could.
I mean, who would give a fuck about that?
Somebody would. It'd be CG. You get like a DreamWorks type deal going on, and
I wouldn't want to watch. And I grew up with the Garbage Pail Kids.
Yeah.
I would not want to watch the Garbage Pail Kids.
It's not something you want to make a movie out of. It just makes
they did that in the 80s. The dumb one.
Apparently it's awful.
I remember watching it. It was just fucking weird, man. Like grown men in big baby outfits throwing up on people. Booger and zits and all that.
It sounds really, really bad. And speaking of bad cinema, I'm so happy to know that, mainstream television, I say that loosely, or basic cable's given Mike Nelson and Bill Corbett and Kevin Murphy a shot and doing a riff series.
Pushing them. Yeah, it's cool. It's just strange how it took them this long to get back on basic cable or whatever.
Of course, anybody that knows me, and if I have to entertain somebody for longer than 2 or 3 hours, I'm putting on at least an episode of Mystery Science Theater. And sometimes that will turn into about 2 or 3, depending on how the ball's rolling,
My balls roll everywhere.
Good.
They bounce, too. They're sweaty.
So, point being is, I'm a huge Misty fan of everything Mystery Science Theater. So that's awesome. That National Geographic.
That's a channel. So I mean, is it just in pre-production, or do they have shit in the can that they're just going to show now?
Well, a lot of people started throwing up the red flags concerning that it's April 1st. It's some people think they're just being trolled by the Riff Tracks crew and taking advantage of it as a
but it made mainstream trending hashtags.
Yeah, on Facebook. So I was shocked. I was like, whoa. But I hope this happens because I know they're going to knock it out of the park, writing wise. and there's going to be a new audience exposed to that, and maybe those people will go back and they'll be like, oh shit, Mystery Science Theater. And
their writing definitely has to cater more towards kind of like a mainstream kind of deal too, though.
Which they've been sharpening that with riff tracks quite a bit. They've managed to put one foot into the Misty fanhood and then also appeal to a mainstream audience.
Gosh, my favorite fucking riff track, I guess call them episodes, would definitely be the Matrix Reloaded one, and also the Over the Top. Over the Top, this case fellas or people just don't know, Over the Top is a arm wrestling movie that came out in the 80s with Sylvester Stallone, and it's a heartwarming story about him reconnecting with his son. And he's a trucker who drives across the country and stops in these little roadhouses, and he arm wrestles for cash. And, it's a heartwarming, cheesy, badass 80s movie. Thoroughly enjoy that. It's
fun.
Yeah, Matrix Reloaded and Over the Top's my favorite riff tracks.
Episode 1 I thought was really funny of Star Wars Phantom Menace.
Yeah, because one of the riffs on there is talking about Qui-Gon Jinn being the Jedi you go to buy weed from, and see his long hair, and like Liam Neeson's tall, and not only is he tall, he has this fucking huge fucking cock. I don't know if anyone's ever heard about the mythos.
You should check out the Smodcast on that when here.
They have a new joke for that every week. Which is pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
It's
like a running joke.
It's like Chuck Norris jokes for a dick.
Yeah. So you combine the Chuck Norris formula with dick jokes, it's a hit.
But see, I think the Liam Neeson dick jokes are better just because they're more nuanced and it's a new.
Yeah.
It's more intelligent,
right?
I guess.
And that's what the Mystery Science Theater type crowd. That's not a show that you could really put on for anybody because it certainly demands a certain kind of intelligence out of the viewer. That's for sure.
Well, if you're cinemaphile,
that too.
You would totally love Mystery Science Theater
or a history major. It's kind of like Monty Python. In a way, because it also there's a lot of jokes that simply would you can hear a pin drop as far as, but there's still someone laughing their head off at certain punchlines and setups and all that gags.
It's a great show.
I mean, it's great.
There's just a couple episodes that are purely could be anyone could watch them and they won't feel like they're being left out.
Of course.
I think that's a lot of people's problems with Mr. Science. Because they feel like they're talking over him sometimes, but they're totally not. There's some straight, silly slapstick stuff that's universally funny.
Oh yeah. Well, you're writing a television comedy you're writing about 2 hours worth of material. So you're bound to just make a joke about Tommy at the deli, or somebody.
Who is Thomas at the deli?
Yeah.
What is he getting at the deli?
Yeah,
Is he getting a large salami on rye? What is... You tell me, Alan, what is he doing at the deli?
I don't know, but a ham sandwich is sounding already good, man.
Already good? We're only fucking 20 minutes in, dude.
I know.
What the fuck? Did you smoke a doobie without me, man, or something?
That shit makes your dick fall off, man.
I heard it makes your dick fall off. Also, I heard it makes your boogers purple.
Makes your car run out of gas for no reason, even though you just filled it up and there's no holes in the tank.
Also, turns your nipples into chainsaws. I don't know if you heard about that one. Right?
Sounds pretty cool for a minute, but then after a while, the irritation would be...
And plus, man, you gotta keep up with the maintenance. You gotta buy 2-stroke oil for it. Not only that, you gotta fucking get new chains. You gotta get gas, and gas is outrageous. I think it's, $3.52 a gallon now at this moment.
Fudge.
That's just for rural areas that we live in. In Tennessee, Nashville, and around the Hermitage area, the gas is $3.23.
Outside of many societal reasons to stay at home, man, they really do not want you to get in a vehicle, it seems. It's like, oh man, let's go out Saturday night, man. And be like, fuck, this is boring. Where we gonna go? Well, we gotta go to a bigger city. fuck, how many miles away is that? Then gas. The gas will top off that party budget so fast. It'll go, let's go get a case of some good beer.
Yeah.
And then it'll turn into a couple 40s, and then you might...
It's like, yeah, man, I'm spending $30 on some fucking top shelf gentleman's Jack Daniels.
Jack Daniels.
But that turns into getting a bottle of 5 o'clock vodka.
Yeah.
In this case, anyone doesn't know what 5 o'clock vodka is. If I don't know if you ever heard of Barnett's or Heaven Hill.
Ugh.
Heaven Hill is the bottom of the barrel of all alcohols.
Oh.
And 5 o'clock vodka is a step below that.
I can...
Yeah, so yeah, you gotta pinch your pennies when gas is
I mean, of
this
course,
high.
a lot of this goes without saying. You know, people are very well aware of that. But man, just that's fuck. No wonder people investing in motorcycles are learning how to get on those
Shit,
things.
see, it would be a fucking brilliant idea to have a motorcycle. Because the gas mileage. But man, what the fuck do you do in wintertime?
Yeah, you're kind of screwed on that.
And the area that we live in, Muhlenberg County, rural area, I mean, the risk of you hitting a possum, a raccoon,
A cow that gets loose.
a deer, or a meth head is very high.
It's very
high.
higher than the meth head.
Yeah, because there's no way you're going to escape that situation. But I see the appeal of motorcycles. It just makes sense. Maybe in other cities it makes sense.
Takes a little bit of a learning curve, I guess. But I mean, come on. As a man, it's just fuck. It's cool as hell. It's like it's a hell of a hobby to go get into motorcycles and whatnot.
Yeah, then you get your fat ass girlfriend
To ride on the bike.
Yeah, be a
back
hog, a hog on a hog.
A hog on a hog. That's a commonplace thing during the summertime around these parts.
It just kills me with the whole Sturgis. I mean, just real quick touch base with motorcycle culture is these people that go to Sturgis, they don't ride their cycle from their native state to Sturgis. They put it on a trailer, drive there just so they can waste $20 of gas going around squares. There's nothing legit cool about that.
No, it seems a little
Weekend warriorish.
a little lame.
Super lame. Super lame, baby.
So Stiff Archives, our channel, I'm thankful that it reached 907
Seven
views at the present time, and that's fine with me, man.
That's cool. It's a lot of curiosity there, man. There's a little bit of everyone on there, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know if it. I wish that we could get more traffic for the music.
We're not whoring it out, but see, thing is, I've noticed it doesn't matter how awesome your music is. Like Kevin Morby, Brian Gregory, Darren Johnson. They're all and us. We all put music up there on the daily, and it's just not
no response.
No response. Not even like, "Hey man, that's cool," or "Hey man, that blows balls."
Yeah, I mean, I've mentioned this. I was bitching about it on a Facebook comment, but I mean, I don't know. Is it just like maybe my head has not reached that conclusion yet? I'm not dealing with the reality of maybe just people don't have that. I don't know.
That I don't know.
It's not there as often because life.
But yeah,
in
the
general,
music videos is fun. I mean, it's archival. What we have up there.
We had to do it.
Yeah, there's newer music on there, but there's gonna be even more new music on the channel. But I'm glad that some of the comedy areas and the interests that people have on the video game hot sauce.
Yeah.
Those first 2 episodes, we wanted to make just because we wanted to make them, but now I want to do them with other people.
Yep.
I want
It'll be fun.
I want someone to tell me what game they want to do with us. I think Andrew Daughtery's on board. Kevin Kamer, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
And Ravishing Rob Davis wants to become one.
Absolutely.
Anyone. The only I guess stipulation that we have is the system that you use has to have normal not component, but composite cables.
Yeah.
Because our Firewire is just that.
Yeah.
That's the only problem, because we're not all about jacking someone else's gameplay footage. We're all about having our own and putting our own music behind it and everything.
Yeah. We, we're doing this podcast and stuff like that is we have enough time, I guess, on our hands to do so many things, and there's so many things. That's the wonders of technology and the internet, of course, is you can just do so much stuff. Basically, you could utilize social media, YouTube, and best of all, from a consumer standpoint, we're not charging you anything for any of this stuff at all.
And, no budget was harmed in the making of any of this.
No.
Zero budget. I mean, everyone kind of touted that shit for a little while. Like, it's really indie, man. It's like, we don't have any cash, bro, but we really don't have any cash.
No.
Negative. It's like,
of course.
This, as far as like production, we're using non-pirated programs to make the shit that we have. The Firewire's probably the biggest money that we spent was getting that.
Yeah.
And the other shit that we have is the collection that we've had over the years. The equipment that's just, collected. So
yeah.
Yeah, but big shout out to everyone that goes to the Stiff Archives and supports.
Keep going.
Get the views going. Subscribe. We need more subscribers.
Yeah, comment, man. Give us some
feedback, and you got to do this before we really. I mean, eventually you're just gonna have to whore it out. We haven't whored it out yet, but man, we're gonna make that suck cock. Take one in the ass, and do not charge for mouth kissing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because apparently that's extra $50 for a kiss.
Some
on the mouth?
don't even do mouth kissing at all.
What does that make it personal? Like a kiss?
I think it does. Eye contact.
Blasting a whore in the asshole is not personal.
It's
but kissing the lips is.
It's like, you can do whatever you want, just don't kiss me in the mouth. It's like, okay, man.
Ooh, let's see. Oh, March Madness is going on. That's a big thing. A lot of brackets got fucked up in the first round, definitely.
Oh yeah.
There's no way anyone was going to win that $1 billion pot, that they had for it. To me, the biggest blast, and also I laughed my fucking ass off, is when Mercer knocked out Duke, because I'm a thorough Duke hater. I like Coach K as a coach, but by and large, Kentucky's always been the better ball club. The most winning, the most tournament wins and everything. And let's go ahead. And also, Kentucky knocking out number 1 seed Wichita State, becoming
getting some coffee.
The first college team in the history of college basketball to knock off 2 number 1 seeds, which I did not know that. I didn't know there was even a record for that. That's pretty intense. My money, whatever, I didn't have any money on the games, but I'm sure a lot of people that did, they were screwed in the ass. They were fucked. It's I don't know, personal favorites. I don't know. I'm just gonna pull up my bracket here. Let's take a look. I'm sure a lot of people have their brackets here. But let's go and just skip all the Sweet 16s and the Elite 8s. Just tell you my Final Four. I had Kansas and Michigan State, and Baylor and Louisville. I know it's kind of optimistic with the Baylor and Michigan State, dude. They're just fucking killing. They're killing it. Forgot that dude's name. Holy shit! But he scored 38 points or something in the first round of the tournament. It's pretty awesome. But yeah, I have Michigan State going all the way and winning. But this Friday we have a nice rivalry game. I mean, everyone goes fucking ballistic for a normal season game of Kentucky versus Louisville. But man, when they meet in a fucking tournament, it's gonna be fucking insane. And historically, I guess my brackets will. Kentucky, no matter how shitty their squad is over the years, even during the Tubby Smith days, they always seem to pull a win off against all their rivalries. Like, they always beat Florida, and always manage to beat Louisville. But I hope, in my heart, I hope Kentucky does continue that tradition. But I do still see Louisville going into the Final Four. I mean, it'd be cool to see Patino to what he repeated with the Tony Delk Kentucky Wildcats. So I think it'd be amazing if he did it with the Cardinals. I'm pretty sure he did that with the Tony Delk team. But yeah, Baylor, I don't know if... Actually, I need to check to see if they're even fucking still in the tournament. That was my wild card team for the Final Four. Michigan State, obviously, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people still have them going all the way. I did not know that Obama also picked them to go all the way. I should have looked that up, but it's a coincidence that I guess the only thing that Obama and I kind of... Well, there's probably might be a few personal things that Obama and I... have like-minded opinions about, but Michigan State was there, and that's really cool. My brother's making some coffee. Kind of ditched me on the college basketball talk, so I'll be right. Take a quick break. Back. We're back here. Alan just had to make a sandwich.
Yeah.
Kind of left me hanging.
Yeah, my bad. I was just
dual podcast. I mean, I'm a basketball fan, but I wasn't gonna like fucking go on for years.
Oh, I know, man. I just got it. I was like, coffee, and then I saw, sandwich. So it was an impulse buy.
Is that a ham sandwich? What the fuck is it?
There's ham and turkey and cheese.
And how's that go with coffee?
It just does.
Can we talk about your coffee habit real quick?
Yeah, I like coffee a lot.
Yeah, you do. You drink it a lot.
If I plan on talking, I gotta have it.
I mean,
I fire off a lot better that way.
Does this work that way?
And plus, this is not like really strong. It's light. It's just something. It's just enough.
What kind of roast is that coffee?
This is the 100% Colombian, but I didn't put but a smidge.
I mean, is it 100% Colombian? Is it a dark roast?
Yeah, it's a dark roast. Yeah, it's just your basic Colombian coffee, dark roast, not bad.
I mean, what brand is it? Is it a Maxwell House or is it a Folgers kind of brand?
It's the IGA brand, but I think it's a rebranded something or another. I'm not really sure, but it's rebranded IGA stuff, like how Kroger does it.
Yeah, I mean...
It's not bad.
Not bad at all.
Pretty good. Smooth. A little bitter.
Smooth coffee?
Smooth, yeah.
I was a big fan of that Kona coffee that you purchased, the Hawaiian coffee.
Apparently, the whole bean Kona coffee is the best. The best shit you can...
I wonder how much... I mean, do they sell coffee like they sell cocaine or weed? I mean, how much is that a gram? Or
I don't know.
How much you get it in a bag? How much is that?
I always see it in like a Kroger or grocery store where they have all the whole bean things, and you can choose it, and you can actually grind them up there and take it.
Does anyone out there do that? Because this seems like that'd be the best way to do your coffee. It's an extra cool thing to do, and plus when you grind up your beans, it kind of awakens the aroma.
It's just fresh,
It's fresh.
Our Uncle Doug did that, and we actually had a cup of just light roast, and it just
Maxwell
tasted.
House. It was just the best. It was
tasted
the
so
best.
much better than anything I've had, out of a can. But I have to say, I enjoy, as far as just like everyday, like what I'm doing right now, coffee. Maxwell House is pretty decent. Folgers is also decent too.
Yeah, I love it. I just never was a fan of the Dunkin' Donuts coffee or the Starbucks store-bought shit. It's too expensive, and it's just not good. It's just not good coffee.
Coffee, it's kind of like, it's very polarizing. Either people absolutely love it, people can't stand it. I guess it's kind of like the palate with dark beer and stuff.
Right. See, my personal coffee habit is, my maximum is 2 cups. All I can do is 2 cups.
I used to do 2 pots, but now this is, the most I've ever drank here lately is 3 cups.
3 cups?
Yeah.
It's not bad.
It used to be a couple pots. And
yeah, I think that might have contributed to your anxiety too, man.
But I've cut down considerably. B12 is the best thing in the frickin' world to get on board with, as far as energy and metabolism and all that.
See, I'm an energy drink guy. I don't drink Monster. I know I get a lot of shit for that. A lot of people do. I tried a lot of energy drinks. I think everyone's dipped their toes in all the flavors There for the longest time, I was a Nas normal straight flavor energy drinker, just because it had more caffeine in it. Then I drank a Full Throttle for the longest time. Then I tried Red Bull, that was alright. Then I tried the Mountain Dew Amps. Then, ultimately, Red Bull fucking wins. To me, it is the best energy drink. I know it's default to say, but damn, to me, it is the best. You get a 12-ounce can of that. I know it's a little pricey, but man, it's the shit. Red Bull, Red Balls. So, that sandwich, what would you put that sandwich on a scale of 1 to 10? What would you put that? You had no chips, no pickle. Seemed like you didn't have any dressing on there. What would you give that?
A 4.
A 4?
Yeah.
Just there.
Yep.
Just there. Speaking of things that's just there, it's Road to WrestleMania season.
Woo! Mardi Gras.
This week's edition of Raw had Arnold Schwarzenegger, Hulk Hogan, and Undertaker. Yeah, I mean, he's the host.
Oh, okay.
Which, anyone who watches wrestling, the host really doesn't do shit. And plus, I think it's the second time that old Arnie's been there.
He was the SmackDown champion, 99 or 2000. Remember that?
That's pretty strange.
Yeah.
This is a brief rundown of the March 24th edition of Raw's War, or is it just Raw?
I wish it was Raw's War.
Stephanie McMahon opened the show. Her and Daniel Bryan have not her and Daniel Bryan. Just talk about Daniel Bryan's beatdown. There's a lot of chants, obviously, for CM Punk. From what I've watched of the Raw, there was a lot of people, actually heels, getting cheered. If you don't know what a heel is, just in case, heels are bad guys. I tuned in during the Luke Harper John Cena match, and it was this all chanting Luke Harper's name, all about Luke Harper and Boo Cena, Boo Cena, Boo Cena. And obviously the match ended with a shady ending. Lights go out, lights come back on. John Cena's tied up in the top and middle ropes with the lamb mask on, and setting up the feud for Bray and John Cena at WrestleMania 30.
Yawn.
Yeah, because I highly doubt that John Cena will put him over on the biggest stage, in wrestling. But yeah, besides just cutting that quick into the bullshit, let's go ahead and just get down with the matches. There's a Fatal 4-Way No More Contender ship match for the Intercontinental Championship with Christian, Sheamus, Dolph Ziggler, and Alberto Del Rio.
Wrestling fans listening to this, let me interject real fast.
Yeah, go for it, man. I'm just reading off bullshit.
No, can anyone explain to me what the appeal is of Sheamus as a face? Like, I just don't get it, man. To me, he just seems like that power plant guy in WCW that just, he was the workhorse, he trained with everybody.
Yeah, he would have been just mid-carded.
I mean...
Actually, WCW would have made him the most creme de la creme jobber,
It's just, I don't know, does he...
But that being said, this is me saying, the appeal that I think that kids have, and if you're an adult fan of him, whatever, I guess, he does look different. He's a big, really white guy. He has red hair.
It's like porcelain.
And he can sell a couple t-shirts. That's the only appeal I can see. He's not the best wrestler, obviously. He's okay for what he is.
Yeah.
I liked it when he was doing the Outsider's Edge, or the Razor's Edge, however you want to cut that. Which is cool that Scott Hall's getting it this year. He's getting inducted. I think just obviously everyone's like, who's going to induct him to the Hall of Fame? It's going to be Kevin Nash. Kevin Nash is going to induct him.
Oh, yeah.
That's 2 DDP success stories right there, guys. And what's the other inductees? There's a match, right? The first WrestleMania match or main event.
Piper and Hogan.
Yeah, and Mr. T.
Yeah, Randy Orton Sr. or Bob Orton.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, back to a little bit of the rundown. Yeah, it's Christian, Sheamus, Dolph Ziggler, and Alberto Del Rio for number one contendership for Big E Langston's Intercontinental Championship.
What the fuck? Wasn't Del Rio already in the fucking cards to be? Because he's like, I want the WWE Championship.
Yeah, because they done that half-cocked angle with him and Batista.
That's fucking...
Because that was
stupid.
dead in the water because, A, no one gives a flying fuck about Batista, and no one really cares about Alberto Del Rio.
No, not that. No one does.
But, just going to read the last little part here. Sheamus grabs the legs of Rio and attempts to lock the cloverleaf. Sheamus eventually twists Rio into position, but Christian gets to his feet. Sheamus picks up and slams him to the mat. Sheamus sets up the bro kick. Sheamus charges towards Christian, but gets caught by Rio. Rio locks on the cross arm breaker. Sheamus uses his strength to lift out of the hold. Ziggler hits the zigzag on Sheamus. Christian immediately catches Ziggler with the kill switch for the win. So the new number one contender is Christian for the Intercontinental Championship.
So, Christian, how do you feel about your career in wrestling since, you pretty much broke your back putting over these guys and that guy? You went to TNA and you did all this, and Vince is like, yeah, you're totally mid-card. I mean, yeah, baby oil.
Well, because what Christian did, he went to TNA and just rubbed it in Vince McMahon's face saying, dude, I can fucking work. And Vince is like, yeah. Take some baby oil and come back, Christian. Yeah.
Be slippery.
I like it.
I'm gonna punish you though, and I'm gonna like it.
Yeah, you'll lose a lot. You'll win sometimes. So, no, it's not just for the cash for you. But I don't know.
I guess it's the whole goldfish attention span that they're hoping to,
Oh, this is an interesting match. I guess after a little bit of a segment after Intercontinental number one contendership match, there was Sin Cara, not the real Sin Cara, but still the fake Sin Cara, with Scooby-Doo versus Damien Sandow. Okay, can someone explain to me in the comments what the fuck went on there? Because I did not watch Raw. So when I see Scooby-Doo out there versus, Damien Sandow, explain it to me. Did they show up in the mystery van or something, dude?
This is about as ridiculous as RoboCop saving Sting.
Is it a man standing on his hind legs in a Scooby-Doo suit? Is it a CG Scooby-Doo?
Can you, I would say try to Google image, but...
It's...
fuck all
Fuck,
that.
I really don't care that much.
Wow.
But,
Wow.
I'm just saying, if you got Scooby-Doo in your corner, you're gonna fucking go places.
Absolutely.
And obviously, Sin Cara goes over Damien Sandow.
Wow. Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, I guess a little something
Scooby-Doo.
for the kids. I guess I know they bought the license to do that, put the Scooby-Doo movie out and everything. Had to rewrite CM Punk out of it and all that, whatever. It makes sense business-wise for the kids.
I just can't believe we're saying this.
Yeah, 10 years ago.
No, you've been like, oh, come on.
Okay, I'm
seriously.
just doing a quick rundown of Raw. We have the Los Matadors with El Torito. Is El Torito the little...
He's the little guy.
Okay, taking on Ryback and Curtis Axel.
All right. Knocking it out of the park.
Oh, and that match was just ended with a Shield run in, which is cool. I'm sure that match went over so well in Brooklyn. It's...
Yeah, I remember that time we went to Brooklyn to the wrestling show, and we saw Scooby-Doo and...
A little horse midget? Or, hold on, small person. I know midget's like saying a racial slur.
But yeah. Wow.
Yeah, well... Okay, just going with the matches. Some of the segments I might read off. The Rhodes Brothers take on Fandango with Summer Rae. Actually, it's just Cody Rhodes' Goldust. Cody Rhodes goes over and does a disaster kick. Match over.
Okay.
Fandango is so over with the crowd, guys.
Fandango.
He comes out, he dances out. Actually, I heard he was kind of hot there for a second. But,
I think Summer Rae's more over, and He is.
Totally. And here's the segment. After that, it was commercial break. There's a sneak peek of Arnold Schwarzenegger's new movie. Probably could have went straight to DVD, but apparently it's going to theaters. I don't know. Sabotage is the name of the film.
Great.
Hulk Hogan comes out. I'm sure he had a warm pop. Obviously, I don't know a lot of wrestling fans out there. Hogan's run this time is strictly for product only.
Yep.
There's really no connection. He's just there to sell the network and sell DVDs.
Yeah.
Because the best of WCW pay-per-views, Volume 1 came out, and Hogan's all up on the cover. So,
Yep.
pushing that. Hogan and Arnold have a little segment. The Miz interrupts. Yeah, it's what we got there.
What a mess.
I'm not going to describe these too much, guys, because I'm sure you probably watch it and just talking about it. I'm just going to read the rundown, then we're going to talk about wrestling, period. Then after commercial break, we got the Big Show versus Titus O'Neil.
Great.
I'm sure Titus O'Neil kind of has a lot of promise. To me, he's too much of a Bobby Lashley kind of deal.
Yeah.
Plain white or plain black guy wrestling.
Yeah.
Big Show wins, obviously. Just talked about the John Cena Bray Wyatt or Luke Harper match. So we had the Diva. Oh man, the cue to go get a beer or make a sandwich. The Divas Championship match.
They do that every single time.
Yeah, it's a pattern. It's a little bit before the main event.
Yeah,
they always do that. But it was a count out. Who gives a flying fuck? Announces a Diva Battle Royal with everyone. Commercial break. The Shield with Roman Reigns. What? Okay. Oh, I guess because he's not in the match yet. It's with Roman Reigns.
Right.
Take on the Real Americans. And I guess, how's that go out? I guess it was just a no contest, I'm thinking.
Great.
You can totally correct me on that. They advertised Lesnar and Undertaker for this Raw. I'm not going to read that off either. I'm sure a lot of interesting things happened. There's a casket. Paul Heyman talk. But to me, guys, this whole angle was already fucked up from the beginning. And I'll tell you why this is fucked up from the beginning is Undertaker should have never chokeslammed Brock Lesnar through the table. Because immediately it kills his steam. Because everyone wants Undertaker back. And Lesnar's been on this tear of just completely destroying everyone and everything. And when The Undertaker hadn't been back all year, everyone waits for WrestleMania season to come back. To me, to sell a better match, a better build-up, you would have had Brock Lesnar F5 him
through the table.
Yep. Then you'd be like, damn, that's some bullshit, and set up, a better build-up. Because you kind of makes Undertaker, you want to see him more, as opposed to him just showing up and just destroying.
Well, it's just, I don't know.
And yeah, that's basically the whole Raw. To me, obviously a lackluster piece of shit, I'll watch it. I watched just a few segments. I just have almost completely lost all interest at all.
Yeah.
Especially knowing that NXT exists, I'm still going to start strictly probably only watching that only. That's it. There's a lot of good fellas over there.
People, non-wrestling fans, probably listen to this and all this stuff.
We
understand,
and we'll time tag these things so you can skip to the parts.
Yeah, but it defies logic on all levels. What Vince is doing to this product, it just makes no sense whatsoever.
It makes sense to his baby lotion buddies.
Yeah.
So he can squirt on them. He's like, yeah, take your shirt off.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I see your trots and your locks. Oh, yeah, it's looking good.
Those calves.
They glisten. Oh.
I mean, if it couldn't get any more obvious that this is a stroke fest backstage with these alpha male fucking
macho dudes.
I mean, they've always been there, but when Vince is just running around, in a Speedo or something, and he's just got like a tub of baby oil and a towel, and he's just like, oh, how'd the show go? And And it's one thing that professional wrestling is looked at as hokey, but when the fans that have been following this stuff for nearly 20, 30 years maybe, when they're admitting openly that, or they're actually just quite embarrassed to just bring it up,
in general, it's very rare they can. I don't know. I met
openly.
a fella this weekend, first time I ever met him, man. Just casually, he just said something about WrestleMania, and he was a diehard fan. There's no in between fans, folks. I mean, there's
that's
kids.
over with.
Yeah, there's no like, yeah, I kind of watch Raw sometimes. Either you got a diehard fan, or that's it.
Yeah, it's very. Again, this is another thing. It's very polarizing. Like it's not only is it bad to the wrestling fan, but from a business perspective and from a television perspective, what professional wrestling has gotten away with some of the most awful. I can't even think of a word that would fit, but awful programming, visuals, everything. When, it's like, it's completely way too self-serving to the people,
A lot of agendas being pushed as opposed to wrestlers.
Right. And it's getting a little out of hand. This is the worst era in professional wrestling,
dude,
ever.
I wanted to find something to defend this era with. I'm not even going to tell us, like, he's not as good as the Attitude Era. I mean, yeah, Attitude Era was nice, but damn, was it also responsible for some of the worst shit television has ever seen.
Ever. If it wasn't, and again, you look at this era here, and the only mild interest is because of a handful, or maybe not less than that, of performers.
Yeah, they are the marks.
Yeah.
They mark out for wrestling.
Yeah.
They love it. They're the marks.
Mm-hmm.
There's some smart marks, and I would say that CM Punk was one of them.
Yeah.
He loved wrestling. He still gave a fuck about it, but he saw around the bend. He saw around the curve.
He got out.
Because no one is discussing how pay-per-view buy rates are going to go.
Oh, dude. I think this whole network's going to backfire. I think it is. And because outside of the pay grades that are going to be affected, you got cable advertisers, you have the marketing people involved for the pay-per-views and all this stuff. There's going to be, I can see shouting matches backstage between, the creative people, the marketing people, Vince's people he goes to set these shows up, the venues, all this stuff as a disaster. Because these people apparently, and I think it's interesting, they have a wellness policy, and even if you saw a joint, you're suspended. But it seem like they're fucking high on some serious Colombian cocaine or some shit. Because there's no logic. Because you look at something like Daniel Bryan. From top to bottom, everything they're doing with this guy is wrong.
I mean, they're trying to make it right with the Yes Movement.
But business. It's too late. It's almost too late.
It is, almost. I mean, after what really, really dug into the ground with me was, I know it's a couple months ago, but man, the Royal Rumble, that had to be one of the worst pay-per-views, I mean, probably in the past, I don't know, 6 or 7 years. I mean, there's been some shitty ones, but damn it, was that one good match. That's all you had.
It's
Bray Wyatt and Daniel Bryan
carried it. Yeah.
The Rumble was terrible, but that really, to me, killed my momentum to going into WrestleMania.
Yeah. It's everything that you could possibly do wrong on a pay-per-view event was done at Royal Rumble 2K14.
Yeah, back to this WWE Network talk. It's fucking awesome.
It sounds really cool.
I mean, I'm just saying, $10 a month, you get to watch everything WWE related. Get to watch the pay-per-view of the month when it comes out. But what happens with the payoffs, where usually pay-per-views are about $50 to $60, I remember when WrestleMania was $80, right?
Yeah.
It's price hike, and the performers at WrestleMania got that payoff. But what are you gonna do when it's $10? How do you split that?
You're just going to get $10 worth of product, and it's going to suck. And on top of that, contract hell. You're going to see people getting really frustrated real fast with the fact that here they are. They're working their ass off, going all over the world or all over the United States. They, injuries, all this stuff. And then you have to deal with the fact that their character and storyline is wish-washy at best. They don't even know what the fuck they're doing. So, I mean, yeah, I can see a walkout or a strike of just people, mid-carders or whatever's left, just being like, this is not ECW, Paul Heyman, because the money is not going to be there. There's going to be like a few top 2%ers that are going to get their guaranteed money, but that doesn't matter because, Triple H could work a main event for dog shit cash because he already has all this cash. It isn't going to affect him.
Not at all.
But it's going to affect everybody else. And, the logic here, I don't understand. I know that Vince has enough money in the bank.
I just hope that we're wrong and this is a nice revolutionary step.
Yeah.
But as of right now, it seems like a blunder.
Yeah, because everything else is. Everything else they've tried has been a disaster. Batista, he'll come in there and win the Royal Rumble, and he'll be over like hotcakes, and yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, yeah. Which I have a feeling that's not going to do as well as a lot of comic book fans might think. I don't know.
I don't know. To me personally, as a fan, I just thought Batista was extremely mediocre in the first place. So just bringing him back did not tickle my balls or make me excited.
I never liked him at all, ever.
I just have a big pet peeve of sit-down power bombs. I know when he came back, he's doing normal power bombs, but man. Also, the only thing I also give him props for is the fact that he's old as fuck. It looks amazing.
Yeah, but he works like a stiff.
He never got that logic, the ring knowledge.
Nope.
He just doesn't move.
He's still green.
He's still green.
He's
after all
green.
these years.
But I don't know. He's stroking somebody off backstage. So I mean, that's just how it is, man. It's just like politics. It's just a consistent amount of man ass just flying around, baby oil,
floppy fucking syrupy dicks,
false hopes,
all that. And I know the wrestlers, I guess in the purest form, are just saying, I just wrestle because I love to wrestle.
Yeah.
But man, if you don't get any of your cash off your t-shirts or off your DVDs or off your pay-per-view performances, I think even the most purest of wrestler would be like, you know what, fuck this. I don't get paid enough to do this.
Well, the fans are already saying fuck this, and then when the wrestlers say fuck this, and again, being on a pessimistic, negative frame of mind here, I hope it falls. I hope it's done by next year. I hope it's all over. Vince can just fucking fuck off, because I'm sick of it. It's of course, as I've said many, many, many times, it was over in 2001 when Vince acquired everything and put it under the the WWE stock and whatever the header. Yeah. It was over. The invasion angle, all that stuff, botched, and so it's been in the wake of that for
I think
13 years.
Mark Madden said it best. What we're seeing now in this era is the death rattle.
Yeah.
It's this reverberation of wrestling's last breath banging against the barrel.
It's just bad, and it's
But I was really happy that the Shield, Bray Wyatt, Daniel Bryan, even Dolph Ziggler, some few NXT guys are very awesome, very badass. They're the greatest wrestlers in the worst era.
Yeah, and you know they're gonna have to figure out something else by the time. I really, my prediction is by next year, it's gonna be done. Like without even a notice on the networks, it's just done.
When you say done, we mean like just off television,
Just
on the
off
network
television.
only?
I think they'll roll. What they'll do is they'll roll
I don't
out.
think it'd be that soon, man. They'll ride the momentum of the network for a while and the WrestleMania payday. I don't think it'd be a year, dude. Wrestling WWE is gonna be around for a long time.
Probably,
As
but
far as like personally, me being done with it, I will be there with Daniel Bryan's title reign. Then once that's over, done.
yeah, I'm fair with that. Yeah, I'm down with that. I'll work with that anyway. But the reason why I give it such a short term is because what as far as live events and new stuff, I think they can keep the network going. And it'll just be like, the Netflix of pro wrestling, since all it is pretty much everything known to man that was televised.
Oh, shit, man. It's like, why the fuck would you want to buy a DVD now? That's what stopped me from buying the WCW Greatest Pay-Per-View Matches Volume 1. It's because, like, damn, this is going to be just $10 anyways.
Well, tangible media seems to be disappearing anyway in all forms of entertainment. So, but what I'm saying is they'll rest on the network. They'll do a couple events as house shows, in viable markets. But I don't see it being. How many shows do they have now? Total,
like reality shows,
or I mean, just
on the network.
Their programming. You have your Saturday morning bullshit.
You have main event, NXT. I think it's are you talking about on television?
Yeah.
Oh, you got Raw, SmackDown, Saturday night. And I think main events. I don't know if that's internet. I think it might be strictly internet.
Yeah. So I'm seeing that slowly. Like SmackDown will be gone first, because I do see them being like, oh shit. People like, I'm gonna walk out. Where's my money? And then
that's some wrestlers will do that.
And then Vince is gonna get in. All right, we need to take SmackDown off the air for a couple months, and then but we'll get this all worked out. I promise. Then that couple months have turn into indefinitely, and then that will trickle down into the Raw programming, because then they're going to have to start writing more and more on this, work all these characters in that they threw in the SmackDown angles to trickle on, and then that will become a clusterfuck because people are going to get left out of there and they'll be bitching about their money. And then it'll just, the roster will become unbelievably small.
Because this is prime time for a federation to fucking step it up.
Oh, yeah.
I just wish someone with a billionaire cared enough about wrestling to do it.
Yeah, TNA would be good.
God bless TNA, man. They have awesome wrestling, awesome wrestlers. It's just not ran right. I mean, they try to be WWE where they should be trying to be TNA.
Yeah, they need to be themselves.
And Ring of Honor, as far as like pure straight badass wrestling, just doesn't have a production value.
Right.
And it's just something's got to change, man.
Mm-hmm.
I can't get Super Cena every fucking Monday, man. This is burn out.
Everyone should be burnt out by now. 10 years is a long time.
I don't know any wrestlers had been on top that long. At least Hogan swapped the spots a couple of times.
Yeah, he's like, I'll drop it. Because he even knew it was fleeting, because that's how random that thing was. But that's back when everything was organically, in a sense. You were the face, and that's, it was...
You wasn't written to be a face.
Right.
You just got over.
Everything now is green light and forced completely down your fucking throat, Doesn't work.
I don't know. We talk about wrestling more, I think, in other podcasts, because we can just do specific areas too. It's just, yeah. Raw didn't watch it all, but I know they just went on the strength of Undertaker coming back.
Yeah.
To confront Lesnar.
Yawn, everybody, just yawn. A big yawn. Reconstructive jaw surgery yawn.
Yes. So moving forward, had a few good beers. I drank a lot of good beers, I guess.
Yeah, craft beer. Yeah, that's a can
Good
of
times.
worms.
That's a whole different can of worms too. Had a generally a pretty all right weekend. No one died, I guess.
That's good.
You know, all right time.
Mm-hmm.
Hung out with some friends, made a new friend. Um, shit, where we go from here, man? That kind of drained me with the wrestling talk.
Yeah, well,
Probably need to switch to matches, man. If you're gonna smoke a cigarette.
yeah.
Combine those lighters. There's a whole box over there. Anyways, the Stiff Archives channel is something you should totally subscribe to, totally go forward with.
Yeah.
There's gonna be new stuff. It can't be every week. We try, but I think what I really want to push hard is a video game hot sauce with other people. Like to have more requests. I'll get on Facebook and dig around a little bit, see what people want to do with us. Because even if you're not here with us physically, if you have a computer with a microphone, just load up some footage and just talk about your favorite
Record
game.
it, yeah, and just send it.
Send us the WAV file and put you in there.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's the genius of the internet and technology. At the time being, is being able to do this, and just, I mean, I don't know, man. Think about this. 20 years ago, it's every single thing that we're doing would have been so
A little difficult.
hard.
Difficult. I'm pretty sure someone would have to record a tape and send it in the mail.
Yeah.
Or put it on a CD, send it in the mail, then give it to us.
Yeah. And then you have to deal with low fidelity problems.
And we're using a non-Macintosh computer too, man. So
Which
you
is
have to worry
remarkable.
about crashes constantly and very consistent.
Now, as far as upcoming stuff, we've decided musically, because, after we did the Post Effect LP, we did 2, maybe 3 shows, right? Total.
Yes.
After that. I was living in Owensboro, was doing that thing, came back. And in between all those times, me and Casey's been writing stuff.
Probably have at least like maybe 8 hours worth of demos.
Yeah, we have a lot of demos. So the Post Effect LP was probably the most straightforward thing. We just wanted to do a rock album, standard tuning, 30 minutes long in total, or 29, to be exact. So now, after all the, new influences in between there have popped up, we've gotten into all kinds of different things. And that's what inspired the first Escape the Rain stuff that,
That didn't have a linear path. It
Not
was
at all.
Straightforward.
And see, I was always worried that maybe it was too confusing or all this stuff. And I decided, like we've proven that we can do something straightforward if we wanted to. But
so let's go back to the root of it.
Yeah, just whatever
inspired us.
Whatever works.
That's the beauty of music. And if you're an audiophile, you're always digging to find and learn about new music. I just don't specifically want to be a metalhead. Don't specifically want to be into rap only or a country fan. I just want to I want to hear everything.
Pretty much. And a lot of people are turned off by that and that's fine. That's part of their own taste. But, the thing is like, with us is like we've listened to so much stuff. And in our, as a listener, you listen to something, you get into it for like a month or 2, and then you get tired of it a little bit, and then you move on to something else and something else. I want to reflect that, the knowledge that and the time we put in as listeners over the years.
It's being fans of music.
And being fans. And basically, if it really... the internet changed everything musically for me, and on top, for the negative aspect of it is, of course, it's not a big, prosperous...
Yeah, you're not making money.
No, but that's not... And it's very clear, and I do not want your money for you to listen to me.
Just listen.
Just listen. That's it.
Maybe 3 minutes of your time for a song.
And we'll give you $1,000, song for free. Basically, it's priceless. Music is a priceless waveform out there in the world. It's And the problem is there is musicians that are kind of pissing on music fans. I've noticed, and a lot of musicians do end up taking up a certain kind of shitty attitude in their career or in their life, usually when they're really young and they feel kind of backed into a corner where it's like, no one understands me, no one understands our music, or music's this and that and all that. And the point is we're not going to be pretentious or try to be over anyone's head. Or,
at least every musician I ever spoke with or even played with were pretentious on some level.
Yeah.
And I've never been that way, I don't think. I guess being a musician or whatever, I've never been pretentious, or it's like, hey, this song, it's like, it speaks out to everyone and my soul. Or when someone talks about music and they bring up a band and they're like, oh, you didn't know about that band.
Yeah, that kills me, because now we live in a day and age where, we could, instead of hammering in this pretentious, I found this piece of gold, it's not yours, you can fucking burn a CD, you can send a link to a SoundCloud or a YouTube link or whatever. Because what has happened, and I've realized this over the years, and the reason why a lot of things get stopped dead in their tracks as soon as the ball gets rolling, is we all get in a circumstance of just infighting, and the infighting ends up hurting and crushing any kind of unity that you would need, especially in smaller communities, because where touring or going to shows is very important. And as a lot of musicians now are figuring out, people that are national acts are on their own now, realizing they have to build a unity, a friendship, a community with other bands, and fucking get along and get out there and fucking.
How do you think? That's why these festivals happen.
Yeah.
There's been very few single tours that actually go anywhere. I'm not talking about the Katy Perry or the Lady Gaga tours or the Bruno Mars, super mainstream money hits. I'm talking about as a band. There's barely, maybe just like 2-3 bands that can go singly on tour with a little bit of support.
Right.
Now it's bands have to go out in groups together. Mm-hmm. And that's just where it's at now. You have to be that way, because you're not going to make money selling your album on YouTube. Not on YouTube, but on iTunes.
Right.
You're going to make money off your touring, just like, I guess, this is how wrestling does. You make it off selling your merchandise.
Yeah. And live performance. So, basically, and it saddens me too when even a lot of musicians I respect or just love turn out to be some of the worst people to be around.
Petty people.
And that sucks. And I'm thinking, how in the hell could you? I know that, there's always personal demons and personal issues that will flood into what they do, but all I'm saying is, although every musician that has played more than once or twice and have done this have all been guilty of taking, their personal demons out on fellow musicians and some fans and shit like that. But, and of course, a lot of people are learning the hard way about all this, and especially now when there's zero interest in, well, I don't know if it is the internet so much, being flooded with content and having all these choices, and you're like, what, fuck it. I'm just going to turn the radio on and that's it. We'll go to the bar.
Or put on Pandora.
And then forget it. So, times are changing, but, so anyway, we're going to go back to the name Escape the Rain and just go from there and just capitalize. Like, where it was heavy before, it's going to be heavier. Wherever it's more, it's definitely experimental, man, because we all have more knowledge.
I guess, it was more educated with our instruments, too. It's more, I guess, more proficient, which one would want to be. We came... It's at first it was just throwing shit at the wall, whatever stuff was nice.
Yeah.
Now it's a dartboard. We have it honed in. We're going for hundreds all the time in the center.
It just seems to me, though, when people talk about the older stuff, a lot of people dug the heavy stuff, and some people dug stuff like the Grade, which is more rock and roll, but of course there was a heavy breakdown or break, whatever the fuck you want to call it, in there. And I like combining all these elements, man, because there's a huge palette now. And now, since we're older and we know a lot more about other bands and other kinds of music and stuff, you can. There's just so many things people can do, and I get angry sometimes or bitter. And it's like, man, with the world, and the internet and all this knowledge, and people keep beating a dead horse, over and over again. But
see, what I've always been. This just me speaking personally. Whatever entertains me or whatever makes me feel good. Sometimes I want to know why that makes me feel good.
Right. Yeah.
It just boggles my mind that no one's ever thought that far about it. It's like, why does this music or this song touch me? I mean, well, how and why?
Right. But again, that's dependent on the person's, enthusiasm or knowledge. But for me, immediately, I think it was All Music Guide when I started. At least it's not the best music site, but it gives you an idea. I was like, well, where did the term heavy metal come from, or what was considered the first heavy metal song, and then of course all roads eventually just lead to the first Black Sabbath record. But you start understanding where things are coming from, and then basically everything revolves around the blues and the 1950s rock and roll thing. And it just seems like there was a point where that stopped, where people just stopped, toying with the ideas.
But see, that's where the money comes in.
Mm-hmm.
You got to go with what's safe and what sells.
Yeah.
And what does the end of the 70s, 80s, 90s, and the thousands? What do they have in common with
right
the 50s, 60s, and the 40s? What they have in common is the fact that it's music. What they don't have in common is the business structure of it.
Right. And the business structure now is, I would say, pretty much on its way out in every traditional sense. Now music's becoming something else. It's like the air you breathe. But of course it isn't cheap to produce these epic sounding, polished, but then again, I could be wrong. I've seen stuff, like there's a lot of people now, they're just, Pro Tools and just a few plugins on their phone, and they got it. They have it. It's all done,
It's DIY. It's all DIY now.
Yeah, and I don't want to say, like when we did the Post Effect LP,
it sounds really polished.
We did the best we could, man, and there was no Macintosh computers or anything.
No, we didn't need $60 an hour at a studio to do it.
Right. So, some people go, well, I can tell home recorded, and it's like, yeah, I guess it does, but it was. That's
also the charm, though.
That's part of it, and see, I don't get a lot of people cherish like old blues records and
shitty recorded punk records.
Yeah, they're like, well, it's awesome, but yet if we try to do, or someone else's, it's like, it doesn't sound pro enough. So I don't know. A lot of that is I don't understand, but we work very hard, and I think I was thinking about this. I started playing music in front of people in 7th grade. I was 13 years old. I'm 30. What am I talking about? 17 years. 17 years.
That's a good chunk of time.
Of doing this stuff. And, and it's difficult, especially because you would have to travel to where the music is at and where the people are at. But, it's the economy kind of slams you when you can't even get a leg to stand on to get over to those areas and find your niche, find your crowd. Yeah, it's a little difficult in the United States to do this. So, but I'm glad that I actually, I don't have any regrets at all being like, I spent 80% of my adult life with music, my guitar, or bass, or trying to play drums for somebody, or whatever. I don't regret it at all. In fact, it has everything to do with my social life, whether it was there or lack thereof. It was productive. It's awesome. And a lot of people live in regret when they follow a career path, although it pays, but they sit there.
They always wonder, what if?
What if I followed my photography
I just always
thing? Or
bring up the whole thing is, I guess my one-liner on it. It's like, what is your epitaph or your obituary going to read?
What's it going to say?
That's something to think about, I guess.
And so, take pride over the things that you can control and you had something to do with, and don't judge people because they pursue it. Don't call them a bum, or don't call them just because,
they're different than you.
And then, yeah, they're just different. And and everyone I know that pursues stuff like this do work hard. And the number one thing to work on, first of all, is the craft you do yourself, and making sure it's good enough to even put out towards the world. And that will consume, and I look at Devo as an example because Mark Mothersbaugh was 30 years old when Whip It was a big hit. So he was 30 and still rode, he made it, and it was worth it. And I bet he felt so satisfied that he's like, I finally, after all this, trials and tribulations, we got a hit, and we get shows, and we get to do what we want to do. So, I say, if you know anyone that does anything above average, give them all the encouragement in the world, give them all the love, give them all the support.
Yeah, just don't hate on them because they're not doing what you're doing.
Right, because there's, come on.
You only get one shot at this shit.
Yeah, as far as I know. So,
character classes have changed quite a bit since existence.
Yeah.
So, if you're really good at making birdhouses and that's all you want to do your whole life, you should never be pigeonholed or shoved in a corner or talked down to just because that's what you want to do.
Right. And just, give these people encouragement, man, and don't ignore them. Don't assume that it goes without saying. And not every musician, just because you think they're remarkable, that they know that they are. Yeah, to a certain extent, they know that they have just enough confidence to do it, but no, there's always second guessing from when they sit there and they're like, man, is it good? Because, ignoring them, not giving them any kind of criticism with any intellect or whatever, it's just, to me, it's awful. And don't leave them hanging, man, just because of whatever.
Yeah, it is, a compliment, or not even a compliment, just a...
Like, hey, man, I saw that, or I picked up on that,
I like this part. It's not like asking for someone that's, give them a hand job or suck their dick or anything.
Yeah, I mean...
Like, this is simple. I like that part, or I fucking hate this shit. Something.
If you expect me on Facebook to click like on every single picture of your child, and that's a work, that is something that you worked hard to get thus far into it, and you're proud of it. If just because someone else is taking a different path and all that stuff doesn't mean you should just be like, well, fuck them. I don't acknowledge their existence because they're not doing what I'm doing. So it works both ways. Double standards.
Swinging doors, swinging doors, swinging doors.
But anyway, hopefully we can get this guy uploaded soon, and hopefully you guys like it and listen to it.
We'll time mark in sections about if you're interested in all of it, fine. But if you're interested in the points that we brought up, such as general entertainment, wrestling, film, music, you can just click and get to the parts that you like.
Yeah. So thanks for listening. Kay, sorry for the sandwich break. We'll edit that out.
It doesn't matter. But yeah, enjoy this March 24th edition of the Oddcast. This is Casey Orange.
And this is Alan.
See ya.